Alright guys, what is up? Welcome back to Green Oasis. In this episode, I'll be doing planting, repotting, house plants. As you can see at the back of me, this is a wooden house, but I'll be doing some decoration on these later on. If you're new to this channel, I'm doing a lot of planting, bring nature back into your house. So I have a playlist. If you're not check it out, you can actually check it out. And I'm not only doing house plant, but I also do aquarium, building aquascaping, terrarium. I recently just visited the Chatuchak market in Bangkok. Now I'm actually in Thailand, in Mae Sot. It's actually very close to the Burmese border. Mae Sot is a very underrated place. You should come and visit if you have the time. And the plants that I just got right now, I'm gonna tell you, is Billietiae. So Billietiae is a very well-known plant. During COVID, this plant is actually pretty expensive, close to 3 digits. That's right, close to 3 digits. I almost got the variegated one, which I might be getting one. If you have not seen the channel, the price that I talk about, the very good one, you can always check out that. That's Chatuchak market. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna repot this one. When I bought this about a year and a half ago, this was actually very small, only 2 seedling. It's about this size. You can see, guys. You can see it's about this size. You see? This is the original size. It's actually very small. Now it has grown to be this large a year and a half later on. So I think it's way too small, obviously. I think it's really outgrown. The roots, as you can see, the roots are actually coming out, which means that it's time for repotting. So tips number 1, if you see your plants, roots are coming out, your house plants, you know it's time to repot. Now I have another size of pot here. You can see the size is much significantly larger. You don't want to be too big, you don't want to have too large pot, but I think this is just nice because as the roots are trying to establish, the energy will be going through all the roots. So the roots will grow and then will fill up the, hopefully, definitely you'll fill up the whole pot, because they like to be root bound. So don't be too quick to repot them. But if you see that the roots are coming out, it is definitely a time to repot. And I'm definitely going to repot this guy here, and hopefully it's going to go really huge when I come back again in Thailand to do an update. I'm planning to actually grow into trees, and it's a climber. I'm going to train this and grow out into the vine. As you can see, this is actually a climber. It's actually very beautiful. It has the arrow roots here. I already cut the arrow roots, but this is the arrow roots. If you want to propagate, you can actually cut in between the nodes here. This is called the nodes. And then you can actually propagate, leave in the water or something when the roots start to form, and you can put them into a pot. Okay, now we're going to talk about substrate. Okay, so what kind of substrate? Now there are different school of thoughts in substrate. Some people say you need a chunky mix. Some people say that you need garden soil, potting mix. Actually, it doesn't matter. This plant is very hardy, so it doesn't really require, it's not so fussy about kind of substrate, but it's no harm to getting a bit chunky mix. But what I have right now is a very good substrate. It's a black garden soil. So later on, I'm going to show you the black garden soil. This is really good. This is very organic, natural. The best is having organic soil. Now I'm going to put this outdoor because it's outdoor, and definitely it's going to be evaporate very fast. So I'm not worried so much about water retention because it's going to dry out really fast. So I don't really need a chunky kind of soil. I need some good soil. That's all I need. So I'm going to repot that right now. So let's get started. So repotting is actually pretty easy. If it's root bound, it's basically just squeeze the pot until it is loose, and then you can easily take it out. So previously we put egg shell because calcium, but not necessary, it's up to you. So I am going to get rid of these. So I'm going to just put it here. It's up to you whichever way you want. So I'm going to get rid of the old soil. And then I'm going to put the new one in. So the first step is actually get the plants out from the pots. I can see previously the mix as I got from the store is actually pretty chunky. They have charcoal and stuff like that. But it's always really up to you. But I don't think I really need charcoal because here in Mae Sot, it can get really hot in the daytime. And also it rains during the rainy season. So there you go. You see the roots are actually very thick. That means it's a healthy roots. So if you see the roots that are whitish and not dark, some of the roots you may need to cut them, but I'm confident with these, so not a problem. So I don't really need to cut much because these are still very small plants. So I better pot them before it gets too large. You can see the roots are actually very healthy. Okay, so I'm gonna put this aside. Always wear gloves when you do something like that because your hands are gonna get really dirty. Okay, put that aside. Now, let's check out the soil here. You can leave the soil. So I'm gonna get the soil out. You can see how wonderful it is. You'll see a lot of organic material, ants and everything. But anyway, these are the organic soil. Okay, this is a gardening soil, very, very fertile. And I think it'd be good if I can put a little bit of, you know, charcoal wood or wood, whatever. But I'm okay with this. I think as long as you don't overwater too much. And later I'll tell you a little bit about how to water them, as I learned from experience. Okay. So I'm gonna be about around here. I think she should be fine. Okay, I think you can see that. Then I'm gonna put a little bit more. Okay, just a little bit more just to cover them up. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, it's a very rich organic soil, and just gonna pot them here. So guys, if you really enjoy and like this types of gardening, I mean not just gardening but nature's type, which is what my channel provides. It's all about nature, outdoor gardening or terrarium making. Do hope that you guys subscribe. I'll do more of these, and sometimes I do a little bit of visitation. So I go to aquarium store, I go to you know, plant store, I go to festival, I go to events. Recently, this year, June, we have plants show, plant and animal basically. So aquarium plants competition. So we have this thing annually, and some, or even twice a year, something like that. Okay, I think that's also all looking good. Just pack them nicely. Okay. Don't need to pack them too deep. Just make sure that the roots are well supported deep in enough for it to able to stand. Because these plants, see, it can be pretty top heavy. So you have to be very wary. When it gets too big, it get really top heavy. So I recommend that you get a moss pole. If you have a moss pole, you can buy it anywhere online, or just get a stick, some sort of a stick, just to support the plants. And if you would like it to grow, the moss pole or the stick will actually attach to the moss pole, and it will grow. In fact, I heard that yeah, you grow much better, and the leaves will be so much bigger if you have a moss pole or a stick or something like that. So anyway, this is just to show you how you can do a simple repotting or potting your Billietiae. In fact, one of my favorites plant. Alright guys, so done. That is it. It just took me less than maybe 5 minutes or less just to pot them. But as you can see, the soil here, it's a bit wet now. So usually every time when you pot them, soil usually have a bit of moisture. So I don't advise you to water them straight away. Maybe just leave them for a few days and see how's the moisture on the soil. Then you can water them. So don't water them immediately, because most of the soil that you get from the garden is actually has already retain some water. Okay, so if you don't have any, like I said previously, if you don't have any what do you call it, chunky mix like a bark, cocoa bark, you can actually use stone, which I forgot to use it, but anyway, you can use stone to mix with the soil, the garden soil. Just don't, because it kind of, a bit aerations in the soil, which is very good for the roots. Don't forget, the roots actually like to be aerated, not muddy soil. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's my advice for you if you're really into doing garden and you want the long term for your plant's health. And the rest is just let nature take its course. Don't worry too much about scheduling watering, because a lot of people are thinking that, oh, how often should I water? Rule of thumb is, if you really want to water them, make sure that you use about 1 inch of your finger. You dip it into the soil, and if you feel like it is still moist, then you should not water them. You should maybe wait a couple of days, 2 days later on, then you start to water them. And if you think that it is dry, you can feel it dry within 1 inch of your thumb, or not your thumb, but finger, then that's the time when you start to water. These plants are really very resilient, because you can see the stems are actually very thick, which means it has stored some water in them. So not to worry. And another thing to look out for if you're getting plants is actually the thicker the leaves, meaning that the less water you need to give, because the thicker the leaves, meaning that he has stored water on the leaves, and even the stem, just like the cactus. The cactus actually has leaves, which is the needle part of that's the leaf, but the leaf small is okay, but the stems are really thick, juicy, so therefore the cactus, like any succulents, you don't need to water them that often. So in this case, it's still pretty okay. I mean, it can survive for a few days without watering, and I think this soil is really pretty, moist. So I'm very confident that it'll be a while. So I'm just gonna leave it here, and in the dry season, so I'm not worried too much about that. And there you go, guys. This is my beautiful Billietiae. Look at how beautiful it is. From this pot to this pot. And I hope that you can grow really massive, and you can grow really huge, like almost bigger than the size of my head. And I can't wait to see how big it grows once I come back again in Metsot and see how it looks. So I have some other plants that I bought from the Chatuchak market. So if you want to see in this episode, I'll be doing that, potting and repotting them again. So guys, thank you for watching. If you're not subscribed, don't forget to give me a like, comment, or what kind of plants that you have, anything that you like to share. We're all learning here, these plant communities, not just plant communities, but aquarium, all nature lovers out there. So you want to share anything out there, you can always put in your comment. I'll be happy to reply. And you want any extra tips that I can give you, or anyone can share anything. So thank you for watching. See you guys in the next episode. Peace.